TeamOhana's comp cycle module empowers managers to reward their top performers while also providing visibility to stay within the merit budget. When you run your comp cycles out of TeamOhana, every manager has their own dashboard view, which is incredibly user-friendly, pulls in a ton of information that they would otherwise have to go looking into their HRIS for, and makes it incredibly easy for them to promote and retain their top talent. Let's go through this exercise as if I'm Alan Kelly. So Alan has 6 eligible employees for a merit increase. On my dashboard as Alan, I can see top level information such as the number of promotions I've recommended, my merit budget that's been allocated to me, how much of that budget I've used. You'll start to see this meter fill up as I go in and make my recommendations. And then the average comp ratio of these 6 employees. Currently it's 1.03. And again, as I make my recommendations, you'll see the new average comp ratio get calculated in real time. For each of my employees in this table, I can see their name, their title, their job category and level, their performance rating from a recent performance cycle, their base salary benchmark, and their current base salary, and then a base raise guideline. This is typically set by leadership or whomever is the administrator of this comp cycle. These fields highlighted in yellow are where I will actually go in and input my recommendation for my employees' base raise percent or amount. And then as you keep scrolling through this table, you'll see a ton of other information, things like their commission currently, anything I'm recommending for a commission raise. Same goes for bonus. There's also their current comp ratio. You'll see that number in aggregate calculated at the top here. Their current total comp if they have base commission and bonus or bonus. And then you also will see the ability to recommend a promotion for each employee. If I continue to scroll, the last few columns of this table have for each employee their division, their department, their location, their currency, pay rate, last raise date, and last raise percentage. So again, typically, if I'm an administrator of a comp cycle, I have to go and pull all this information from my HR system, put it into a spreadsheet, typically one giant spreadsheet, then cut that spreadsheet into dozens and dozens of individual spreadsheets to then share with my managers. But with TeamOhana, it's all already pre-built for me. So let's go through this exercise as if I'm Alan. I'm going to take a look at my employees and make some recommendations for merit increases for each of them. Dainton and Gary both received 5s in their recent performance reviews, and they both are pretty low on their base salary benchmark scale. So while leadership has recommended a 9% increase for each of them, I think I will give both of them an 11% increase. You can see that when I enter in the 11%, the dollar amount gets auto-calculated and my merit budget meter starts to fill up, indicating that I've already used 31K of my 65.8K budget that I have to spend. Jordan received a 3, is also fairly low on their base salary benchmark scale, and Christian received a 4 and is alternatively at the top of their base salary benchmark scale. So for Jordan, we'll go ahead and follow the recommendation of a 5, and we'll give Christian a 6.5% raise. And then for Liliana and Melanie, for both, I'll give them just cost of living adjustments of 1%. I, with those recommendations, have just about hit my max for my merit budget. And I do get this real-time feedback as I'm going in and making these suggestions, so I can see how I'm doing compared to what's been allocated to me. I can also see with these recommendations, my average comp ratio for my 6 employees has changed from 1.03 to 1.07. I would also like to recommend that Gary gets promoted. So currently he's a principal software engineer. I think I'd like to make him a software engineering manager. And if I scroll all the way to the right of my table and I find this promotion column, I can update this to yes. We'll make him an engineering manager. And then I'll select from this dropdown his new job category and level and his new job role. So with that, my comp ratio actually increased again because now we're taking into account Gary's new compensation, his new base salary as a engineering manager. Previously, again, he was just a principal software engineer. So that gets accounted for as well. And then you see my recommended promotion up here at the top. Similar to other aspects of TeamOhana, the comp cycle module does have a collaboration feature too. So when I submit my recommendations for approval, they'll first go to my own manager. And if I want him to have some insight into why I'm recommending that Gary gets promoted, I can leave a note for him right here and say, I recommend Gary gets promoted based on his recent contributions to the team, let's say. And I'll leave this comment: when my manager, Martin, receives all of my recommendations, he'll be able to see exactly what I've left in each comment and have the context that he needs to accept or deny what I'm suggesting. TeamOhana's comp cycle module allows managers to promote and retain their top talent and do so in a way that is incredibly easy, user-friendly, and takes all the manual work off of their plates.